Hey YouTube, so we are literally less than a day away from the recently announced Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct, which will of course be streamed tomorrow and run for around 20 minutes, highlighting all of the new content coming to New Horizons in November. All we know so far is that the Roost is returning and will be inside the museum, along with Brewster himself, who was confirmed just yesterday, and kind of bust the myth that a baby Brewster will take his place. So I thought this was the perfect time to run down some of the final predictions for the Direct, by including rumours, data mine findings and community hopes and dreams, and list some of the new content we can expect and hope to see announced tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll be super brief and won't go over the details as we've already covered those in previous videos. I guess you can consider it more of an overview or a bingo card of sorts, so let's take a look at some final predictions. Number 1. K.K Slider and visitors. So the Roost is of course confirmed, but it's looking highly likely it will be the center point for much more, including some returning features from previous games. As you know, the Roost was the go-to place for K.K Slider concerts, as well as meeting special characters when they're off duty. And since seeing the preview of the Roost and knowing it's clearly inspired by the Roost from Wild World and Let's Go to the City, I would say with almost certainty that K.K Slider will move from the plaza and instead perform in the Roost going forward. Furthermore, I think it's a safe bet that the Roost will be pretty busy, and special characters such as Isabel, as well as returning special characters such as Pelly and Pete for example, could stop by the Roost on random hours. But what's even more likely is that past villagers who have since moved away from the island will also likely return to the Roost on random days. Villagers who have moved away and then return for a day to visit have been a feature since the original Animal Crossing, so I'm pretty confident we'll see this too. Number 2. Gyroids. Keeping with the Roost theme, I think Gyroids will make a huge comeback. I think we're in for a big surprise regarding Gyroids, and there's likely going to be hundreds to collect. I'd be very surprised if they didn't return in November, as they have been data mined and of course are iconic to the Animal Crossing universe. Should they return, these will likely be heavily linked to Brewster in some way. Either we'll have to unlock them as rewards, or he'll get us to craft them, or simply he'll offer some kind of storage for them, much like in previous games. Number 3. Lottie. We've covered this a couple of days ago, but there's a good chance Lottie will be returning to New Horizons and hopefully make it into the November update. She has been data mined, so we know Nintendo are toying with the idea, so like Brewster, it's just a matter of time before she returns. If she does, she'll likely continue with her traditional role and offer some kind of designing feature, most likely as a way to design villager homes or decorate some kind of room on behalf of Nook Homes. We don't know too much, but I think Lottie would fit in extremely well with the customization aspect of New Horizons. There's even been rumours of a campsite upgrade. Number 4. Dr. Shrunk. Now it's pretty obvious that we'll see some new emotions added to the game in November. It's a common update we've seen in the past, and we've got a bunch of free space available, so it makes sense. However, with the Roost most likely having a stage for K.K Slider, there's a chance Dr. Shrunk could return and make use of the stage on random days and therefore teach us a handful of new reactions. There's not really any evidence to support this, but it seems a good fit with what we do know. Number 5. Nook's Cranny Upgrade. I think it's inevitable that Nook's Cranny will finally see an upgrade too. We've covered the theory behind this in the past, and there's certainly room to make the model of the building larger. It's worth noting that in previous games such as New Leaf, it took months and months to unlock the final store, which isn't far off where we're at with New Horizons, so it would definitely be the right time to release it. I'm not sure we'll see too much new furniture though, but I 100% think the likes of Leaf or Gracie will join Nook's Cranny Upgrade on a second floor. Again, this is in line with past games. Number 6. New villagers. Thanks to a mini announcement, we know Series 5 amiibo cards will release alongside the November update, and unless they redesign a bunch of old cards, which is unlikely given they actually reprinted the 4 series, there's a good chance we'll see some new villagers on the cards. Either these will be a handful of brand new villagers like Raymond, who debuted in New Horizons, or some of the original villagers who never made it past the GameCube version will return to New Horizons. Either way, I'm all for new villagers, and I really think Series 5 is going to be awesome. Number 7. Quality of life updates. Naturally, as with any update, it's likely we'll see some slight changes to features and mechanics that we use every day, such as crafting, for example, to make our lives easier. The most obvious example is, of course, multiple crafting, and I'm pretty confident we'll see this added. If we don't, I doubt they ever will, but it's something the community has always mentioned in feedback, and we know Nintendo have listened to feedback in the past. Other quality of life updates could include putting swimsuits on wands and selecting multiple items from the Able Sisters when purchasing from the changing room. All welcome features that, even if not announced in the direct, we could see quietly added in the actual update. Number 8. Katrina and Luck. Katrina has played a very small role in New Horizons as part of the Nintendo Switch Online app and provided daily fortunes when earning Nook Points. Recently, some new luck mechanics were data mined too, so it's possible Katrina could play a bigger role in New Horizons either by visiting or maybe through the Nook phone. Villagers have also been linked to this new luck mechanic, so maybe villagers will read our fortunes too. Nintendo are definitely working on something luck related, so seeing it added in a big content update makes sense. Number 9. Nook Points. Speaking of Nook Points, I hope everybody has been collecting them, even though there's nothing new to buy right now, because with the big update looming, there's an extremely high chance Nintendo will add new items to the Nintendo Switch Online app that can then of course be purchased with the Nook Points we earn. Don't worry if you haven't, the update is still like a month away, so there's plenty of time to start collecting them. Number 10. Crops. Finally, I think something we could see that plays a huge role in this update is more crops or vegetables that we can harvest, much like the pumpkins that were added about this time last year. Several data mines have uncovered multiple vegetables on various occasions, including carrots, potatoes, and wheat, amongst other things. Again, with a big, refreshing content update that just so happens to be dropping before the Harvest Festival or Turkey Day, this is the perfect time to add new vegetables. I doubt the life cycle of growing these kind of new vegetables will be any different from pumpkins though, but the more options for things like this we have to grow would be welcomed. So there we have it. That's 10 things we can expect to see announced tomorrow, most of which have been data mined at some point in the last year or so, so even if they're not announced tomorrow or released in the update quietly, they could be added to the game later down the line. We'll literally just have to wait and see. But what do you think will be included in tomorrow's direct, and what are you most excited for? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, thank you so much to all the patrons and channel members for supporting this content. I truly appreciate it, and until next time, have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.